Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, this gun. Ace of Spades is legit. Legit. I am a fan. I'm a fan. What's up, ladies and gents? This is KSigKid coming at you with another Destiny video. Today, it's all about the hunters. So Warlocks and Titans, unfortunately, you're going to be left out. We're talking about that exotic, exclusive hand cannon, the Cayde 6 favorite, Ace of Spades. And this gun is pretty fun and pretty amazing to use. It is actually very viable in PvP. All the clips you see are going to be me rocking out True Sight. I tried Quick Draw and Steady Hand. I did a wall test. In True Sight and Quick Draw, did a pretty nice recoil pattern vertical up the wall. The final one, Steady Hand, that pulled off far too much to the left for my liking. As far as perks go, we've got Firefly, which is really nice, basically giving you about a body shot's worth of extra damage if you get it to proc on another enemy. In the middle, we've got Reinforced Barrel, because of course, you need max range if you're going to be doing the hand cannons, because that's all that matters. And then for the final perk, Maverick, basically if you see a Firefly explosion, what's going to happen is one bullet from my reserve ammo is going to be put immediately into my magazine. And that's actually really nice. Not only is that a really nice perk for PvE, but it works pretty well in PvP too, because honestly, it's not that difficult to get a critical hit kill with a hand cannon in PvP. And if you get it, it means you get one more bullet in your magazine, meaning that you have to actually reload less. And that's pretty awesome, because there are no faster reload perks on the Ace of Spades. Pretty much you've got your base reload speed, and then if you happen to have gauntlets that have hand cannon reloader, well, that's going to help you out quite a bit. That's one of the problems hand cannons have in general, is they're a little bit slow on the reload trigger. So if you've got some things like reactive reload, well, you really want to pair that up with outlaw. In this case, you pretty much just get a free extra bullet. And we all know by now that this 81 impact class of hand cannons with this rate of fire, it is basically 3 shots to kill for the fastest time to kill. 2 body shots, 1 headshot, and if you get that headshot at the end, that means you're going to get basically 33% of your expended ammo back. That's really, really solid. So essentially on a kill, you're only going to spend 2 bullets out of the 3 that you potentially would have before. So really, really solid. I really like that Maverick perk, and like I said, it's just a little bit underrated. In PvE, it's definitely better. It's definitely better because you're going to fight more enemies at once. But in PvP, it definitely has its uses. And I'm glad that we've got it on, because everybody knows by now, I'm pretty much a compulsive reloader. So let's talk about that middle column. I said we had Reinforced Barrel, and that was basically our only option. And that's definitely true, but I'm kind of sad about it a little bit. Whenever I was doing the wall test, I thought I'd like to try out what perfect balance is like, and just go all stability and forego the range. Well, obviously whenever you're shooting at a wall, you're not going to get any damage numbers or anything, so we're not going to worry about the damage. But whenever I did that, oh man, the recoil pattern was so much better. It wasn't that it really stopped it from moving to the left or right, it was still pretty much vertical, but it went up about half the distance on the wall. Stability basically cut the recoil pattern, the vertical recoil pattern, in half. And that was so nice. But here's what I thought in the end of the day. Like I said, whenever we're shooting at a wall, we don't have damage numbers, and damage fall off on hand cannons is a real thing. You don't want that damage to fall off. So I realized that I'm just going to go for all the range, because here's the thing. You're actually not going to be just automatically spamming this as fast as you can. You're going to pace your shots just a little bit, and because of that, you're not really going to fully notice the lack of stability. So Reinforced Barrel still is absolutely viable, and it's really not going to hurt this hand cannon that much, at least in my personal opinion. Now, having done the test and seen what stability actually does, would I have preferred having Rifle Barrel and a little bit slower reload speed, but having that stability back? Well, yes, I absolutely would have. But unfortunately, we can't do that. So I just wanted to check that out, because I know that there are some people that have legendary hand cannons, and they've got that Reinforced Barrel, and they might be told that, well, you know what, that's junk, that's just bad, you can't use it, you need Rifle Barrel, the stability's too low. And yes, stability does help hand cannons as far as their vertical recoil, but because of the fact that you have to pace your shots with this, if you want to get the best shots, and the least amount of ghost bullets, I'm not really that worried about stability. It's really nice looking to have, but in the practicality of battle, I think you'll be just fine with this. And like I said, this gun in battle handles beautifully. It's really a beautiful gun to go ahead and use. Not only does it feel slick, you've got the awesome and amazing flip just like you've got with the last word or the first curse, and who doesn't love having that extra animation? It makes you feel like a badass, and who doesn't want to feel like a badass whenever they're in PvP trying to shoot all the mans? Now I know some of you might go over and check out the hidden stats on the Ace of Spades, and you'll say, well, wait a second, kid. There are pretty much low weapon handling scores for this. It's 31 to 51. That's a little bit low for a hand cannon. How are you saying this thing handles beautifully? Well, I can't really explain it as far as the stat numbers go. I can just say from my experience, it felt good in my hands. So yes, the stats might not bear it out, but whenever I was using it, I never really felt sluggish. I felt like I was always on point, and that's probably helped out by the aim assist, which is quite solid at 61 to 66. That's pretty nice, that's pretty solid for hand cannons. Again, aim assist on primary weapons is always a really, really good thing, because bullet magnetism is 100% for real on primary weapons. So the more bullets that can get pulled towards your opponent's head means the more chances you have of proccing Firefly. So I really like it. Like I said, even if the actual stats, the numbers don't bear it out, Ace of Spades feels pretty solid to go ahead and handle. Now we kind of glossed over it, or flat out didn't mention it at all, but we also have an intrinsic exotic perk on this of Third Eye. So we've got Third Eye on, and that means whenever I'm aiming down the sights, my radar is always going to be up. I actually have really come to love this perk. The problem is, I always have on Memory of Gjallarhorn. That artifact gives it to me for free, and in all these clips, I was actually rocking that out. So honestly, I could have used and utilized a better and different artifact. My artifact was essentially wasted, so I'm just saying that right now so you don't make the same mistake I do. You don't need it because Ace of Spades already is going to have Third Eye just for putting it on. So it's actually kind of a little bit of a nice thing, especially if maybe you want to run a Night Stalker with Fellwinters. So if you want to put that on for the double wombo combos, then you can still have Third Eye, basically your radar up all the time whenever you're aiming with the Ace of Spades. That would work out pretty well for me. Just something to keep in mind. And then of course I want to talk about Firefly just a little bit more. So again, Firefly is typically thought of as a PvE perk, and for good reason. In PvE we've got enemies around us all the time. Firefly is stronger in PvE than it is in PvP for sure. You've all killed things and seen them explode with Firefly, and then seen other enemies die just in one hit from Firefly. Well, you're not going to see that in PvP, it's simply not. But what it does do is it puts out at least a body shot's worth of damage on the enemies that are around you. And having an extra body shot of damage means that, well, you only need to shoot them maybe 2 more times in order to get the kill. So you've already got 1 free shot on the enemy. That's solid. That is absolutely solid. Now, in something like Trials of Osiris, a 3v3 game mode, will you ever really see that in effect? No, probably not. Probably not. Because in Trials, people can be spread out a little bit more. But in 6v6 game mode, where it is Team Shot City, there are plenty of times where you're going to turn the corner and 2, 3, or 4 enemies are going to be coming at you at once, and you hit that Firefly, and boom, you get some extra free damage on the enemies, and if they're already weak, you might kill them, or you might simply soften them up and your teammates can clean everything up. Regardless, as long as the enemy is dead, you're in a much better position. Not to mention all of the choke points that people go through, all the choke points in the game. Firefly absolutely wrecks in those instances, because everybody's trying to get around the doorway, and they're bumping into each other, and they're moving around, and you get one person, you get that one lucky bullet that kills and procs Firefly, and then boom, everybody's taking damage, everybody's seeing a little bit of a flash on their screen, red, they're dying, and they're now panicking. Easy, easy cleanup. So yes, it's definitely more of a PvE perk. It's not quite as sought after in PvP, but it definitely is viable in PvP, and it's on the gun. So you've got no choice but to have it and utilize it, and you certainly will get a lot of those Firefly kills. Like I said, the aim assist feels pretty solid, it works pretty well, I seem to get a number of headshot kills, It felt solid. There were a lot of times that I was actually surprised I was even getting a headshot. So Ace of Spades is actually the third and final class-specific exotic that I've actually done a video on. We did Fabian Strategy long ago, just a fun match. We did Tlaloc recently, and Ace of Spades. Last, but definitely not least, I am loving this exotic hand cannon. So I feel like if you're on a hunter, give it a try. Anyway, guys and gals, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, smack that like button and subscribe to the channel. Check out these awesome videos. Good luck with your raids, your drops, your hunter, and I'll see you around in Destiny. Hashtag Cayde's holding aces.